Vande Bhani Vinayaka Bhavani Shankara Vande Shraddha Vishwasar Sarupina Yabhyam Vedana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastavishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Shankara Rupinam Yamashrito hi vakropi Chandra sarvatra vandyate Sitaram Gunakrama Punyaranya Viharinam Vande Vishuddha Vijnana Kavishwara Kapishwara Udbhava Sthiti Samhara Karini Kleshaharini Sarvashreyaskarim Sitam Natoham Ramavallabham Yanmaya Vashavarti Vishwamakhilam Brahmadidevasuraha Yatsattvadamrishaiva bhati sakalam Rajyo yatha he Ramaha Yatpadaplavamekame hi bhavam Bodhe sthitirshavadam Vandeham tamasheshakaranakaram Ramakhyamisham harim Nana Purana Nigamagama Sammatam Yad Ramayane Nigadidam Kvachidanyatopi Swanda Sukhaya Tulasi Raghunatha Gatha Bhasha Nibandhamati Manjulamadhanoti Bhasha Nibandhamati Manjulamadhanoti Hari Om Sumiran Jo sumirat siddhi hoy Gananayak kari varavadana Karau anugraha soy Buddhirasi subhaguna sadana Mukha hoy vachala Ravaust panguchara girivaragahana Jasu kripa sudayala Ravau sakala kalimaladahana Nila saroruhasya syama Karuna aruna varjanayana Karau somama uradha kama Sada chira sagara sayana Kundalinda samadeha Umaramana karunayana Chahitina parane neha Karau kripa mardanamayana Pandaguramadakan kanja Kripa sindhu nara Rupahari Mahamohatamapunja Jasubhajanaramikara Jasubhajanaramikara Siyavan Ramachandra ki jai. Sorry everybody, the harmonium is not perfect, but I'm trying a little bit. The way everybody is trying Sanskrit a little bit, I'm trying harmonium a little bit. Okay. Welcome back. We are seeing Aranya Kanda, the section where Sitaji has just been kidnapped by Ravana. And with great fear, Ravana is now taking Sitaji away. And we saw, interestingly, how Sitaji, very out of character, asked Bhagavan Sri Rama to go and get a golden deer, which was not actually a golden deer, it was a Rakshasa, it was Marich. We saw that Katha in detail. Then we saw also how Bhagavan Sri Rama went, and he went to fulfill the desire of Marich. He ran behind him and he shot him with his arrow. And Marich fulfilled his promise to Ravana. He ended up shouting Lakshmana in Sri Ram's voice, and Sitaji heard it and got scared. And Sitaji said to Lakshmana that your brother needs help, you please go and help him. And Lakshmanji laughed because Bhagavan Sri Ram does not need anybody's help, and he knows very well, and he knows Sitaji also knows very well. So he couldn't understand what was going on, but because a Leela is about to happen, and because things had to be put in place, it so happened that Sitaji got upset with Lakshmanji, and she said some very not nice things to him that Tulsidasji didn't even put in his Ramayana. And Lakshmanji was compelled to leave and go help Bhagavan Sri Rama, even though he knew Bhagavan Sri Rama needed nobody's help. The interesting thing in this section is that even though Bhagavan Sri Rama was not there, Sitaji was safe, actually speaking. With Lakshmanji, she was safe. It is only when Lakshmanji left, even though Lakshmanji said to the Vana Devatas, you please take care of Sitaji, it was only after Lakshmanji left that Sitaji was not safe anymore. Sitaji was no more protected when Lakshmanji was gone. And if you see the symbolism behind this, Sitaji symbolizes bhakti. Sitaji also symbolizes shanti. You can take either and it will work. Lakshmanji symbolizes vairagya. Without vairagya, our shanti is not guaranteed. Without vairagya, our bhakti is also not guaranteed. We need not know the Atma for our shanti to be protected, for our bhakti to be protected at a very relative level, right? But if we do not have vairagya, then we are in big trouble. So that is what it showed. As soon as bhakti was left without vairagya, as soon as shanti was left without vairagya, there is no stability for that bhakti or for that shanti, and it was usurped or kidnapped or taken away by Ravana, the ego, with his 10 heads, meaning our 10 indriyas and all of that, right? So very beautiful symbolism is there behind the lines also. As long as we have vairagya, meaning that we're not seeking joy from the world. We understand that our joy comes from some other place, right? We understand the world for what it is, and we don't seek joy and peace from the world. Well, then we're good. As soon as we start to think a person, a thing, a situation is going to give me joy, then neither my bhakti is guaranteed nor my peace. So this is something for us to keep on thinking about, because it's exactly our situation. Sitaji is playing our situation out. We say we want Bhagavan, and then a golden deer passes us in the form of something to eat, something to see, something to smell, something to taste, something to do, and then we change our mind and we say, Bhagavan, actually, can you go and get that for me? Right? So we know how that plays out. Sitaji plays it out in detail for us, right? Now, Sitaji has just been kidnapped, and we are right after, let me see where we are, right after number 28. Ravana is so afraid of what is going to happen when he's taking Sitaji. He cannot even ride that chariot properly. He's in so much panic. So now we'll see from there. This is right after 28. Let us chant. I'm going to attempt to play. Let us see how well that goes, and if I have to give up halfway. Right, so please bear with me, and please chant along. You have to chant louder than I play. So everyone please chant. You have the Ramayana in front of you. You can follow along. This is after number 28 in Aranya Kanda. Okay. Ajaga eka veera raghuraya kihi aparadha Actually, let's just sing without the harmonium. Okay. From the beginning. Ha jaga ek bir raghuraya tihi aparadha bisare hudaya arati haran saran sukhdayak ha raghukul saroj din nayak ha lachman tumhara nahi dosa so phalu payo ki neurosa विविध बिलाप करति बैदेहि भूरि कृपा प्रभु दूरि सनेहि विपति मोरि को प्रभु ही सुनावा पुरोडास चहरा सब खावा सीता कै बिलाप सुनि भारी भय चराचर जीव दुखारी गीधराज सुनि आरत बानी रघुकुल तिलक नारी पहिचानी अधमन साचरली हे जाई जेवि मलेच बस कपिला गाई सीते पुत्री करसी जनि त्रासा करिहौ जातु धान करनासा धावा क्रोधवंत खग कैसे छूटई पबि परबत कहु जैसे रे रे दुष्ट तरहा तरह किन तरह किन कोई निर्भय चलिसि न जाने ही मोहि आवत देखि कृतांत समाना फिरि दस कंधर कर अनुमान कि मैं नाक की खगपति होई मम बल जान सहित पति सोई जाना जरथ जटायु हेहा मम कर तीरथ चारि देहा सुनत गीध क्रोधातुर धावा कह सुनु रावण मोर सिखावा तजि जानकी कुशल गृह जाहु नाहित अस होहि बहु बाहु राम रोष पावक अति घोरा होई सकल सलभ कुल तोरा उतरु न देत दसानन जोधा तब ही गीध धावा करि क्रोधा धरि कच बिरत कीन्ह मही गिरा सीत ही राखी गीध पुनि फेरा को चन्ह मारी बेदारि सी देहि दंड एक भय मुरुचाते ही तब सक्रोध निसिचर खिसियाना कार्हिसि परम कराल कृपाना काटिसि पंख पराख गधरनी सुमिरि राम करि अद्भुत करनी सीत ही जान चढ़ाई बहोरी चला उताइल त्रासन थोरी करति बिलाप जाति नभ सीता व्याध बेबस जनु मृगी सभीता गिरि पर बैठे कपिन निहारी कहि हरि नाम दीन पटदारी एहि विधि सीत ही सो लय गयो वन अशोक महराखत भयो हरि परा खल बहु विधि भय अरु प्रीति दिखाई तब अशोक पाद पतर राखिसि जतन कराई सिया ओ नेक्स्ट जेहि विधि कपट कुरंग सगधाई चले श्री राम सो छवि सीता राखी उर रटति रहति हरि नाम सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Now Sita ji starts to speak. And Sita ji says, Ha Jagat, Eka Bira Raghuraya. In this whole world, there is only one hero, and that is the king of Raghus, our Bhagavan Sri Rama. Kehi aparadha bisari hudaya. Because of which fault of mine did you forget to shower your compassion? See, for what fault of mine did you not shower your compassion? This is, remember, Sitaji is playing the role of a jiva, us, and her first response is our first response. The first response of somebody who gets in trouble is, who's to blame? Whose fault is it? And she looks around and she says, actually, we blame Bhagavan first. Exactly like this, we blame Bhagavan first. Bhagavan, why did you not bless me? Why did you not protect me? Where were you? Where is your compassion? Right? Did you not like that I asked for the golden deer or whatever, right? Means first response, blame somebody. Then she says, Arati harana sarana sukhadayaka. She says, you are the remover of afflictions of those who surrender. Then you are the giver of joy, sukhadayak. Ha Raghukula Saroja Dinanayaka. Oh Raghukula, you are the Raghukula Saroja. You're the for the lotus of the Raghukula, you are Dinanayaka. You're the sun. The sun for the lotus of the Raghukula. Because of you, the Raghukula shines and opens, right? Then she says, Ha Lachimana, tumhara nahi dosa. Then she suddenly remembers actually something happened. And she says, Oh Lakshmana, it is not your fault. She knows what she said to him. So phalu payo ki nehu rosa. I have gotten the result or the fruit of getting angry at you. Meaning she acknowledges that it is not Bhagavan to blame, it is my own fault. And this realization is something that every jiva has to come to on their spiritual journey. It has to dawn on us that anything that is coming to me is my own karma phala, right? I only get the result of my own karma. Now, there's a very interesting line that will come in Sundar Kanda that tells how if you do something bad to a good person, you get the result right away. Like, right away, you get the result if you do something bad to a good person. In our Vedanta course, after we had heard this line from Swamiji, one of our brahmacharis was being teased by the other brahmacharis. And right after they teased him, they stubbed their toe or something like that. And he said, You see what happens when you do something bad to a good person? We're not supposed to go around being like, Look what happened to you because of what you did to me. We're supposed to take that as an indication for ourselves to not go and do that to good people. Right? She doubted Lakshmanji's intentions. That Lakshmanji who saw her as a mother. In Valmiki Ramayana, he gives details about what all she said and everything. But really, Lakshmanji left home, palace, comforts, wife, everything, everybody, with absolutely no desire in his heart but to be with Bhagavan Sri Rama. And he, in Valmiki Ramayana, there's a beautiful line that describes how when they find Sitaji's jewelry, we'll see that section today, and Sri Ram asks Lakshmana if he can identify it. And Lakshmanji says the only one he can identify is the piles on her feet, because that is the only place his eyes would go, to her feet, right? So that sentiment is very, very strongly there in Ramayana, that actually some Mahatmas say that the intensity of Sitaji's suffering over the year was connected to how she treated Lakshmanji at this time and how she spoke to him, right? So a very serious thing that happened. Anyways, Bibidha Bilapa Karati Vaidehi. Vaidehi, our Sitaji, was lamenting profusely. Bhuri Kripa Prabhu Duri Sanehi. And she said, even though my Bhagavan Sri Rama's Kripa, compassion is endless, Bhagavan is far away from me, and I am also going far away from him. Like that is the sentiment that is there, right? So first step in our transformation is acknowledgement of our mistake and acknowledgement of the fact that there is an undesirable quality in my heart. If I go on justifying it, it is never going to go. For example, raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes, are considered to be a mala, an impurity. In our tradition, we're taught that likes and dislikes are an impurity of mind, right? But we go on justifying our likes and dislikes and we proudly talk about them. And if we don't think there's anything wrong with them, we're never going to remove them. Right? That is the sentiment that is there. First step is acknowledge, oh, I did something undesirable. I have an undesirable quality. And its recognition itself is the beginning of its elimination. Hmm? Then, Bipati Mori ko Prabhu hi sunava. She says, this distress of mine, this problem of mine, who is going to tell Prabhu? Who is going to tell Bhagavan Ram what happened to me? Hmm? Purodasa chaha rasabha khava. It is like what is happening with Ravana taking her. She describes it. She said it is like a donkey desiring to eat the purodasa. Purodasa is a special prasad during a yajna that is meant for Bhagavan and then that is given to only the Yajaman and the Ritvik. Hmm? So a donkey wants that. So she's saying I am meant for Bhagavan and Ravana wants me. Who is going to tell him that this has happened like this? Sita ke bilapa suni bhari, hearing Sitaji's profuse lamentation and sorrow and distress, bhai chara chara jiva dukhari, all the living and non-living beings, moving and non-moving beings in this universe became sad. You know, Sita ji is Maya, correct? She's Prakriti. And this whole universe rests on Maya. So when she laments, the entire universe naturally laments. So when Sita ji was being taken away, the entire universe was lamenting. Hmm? The whole universe was sunk in sorrow. Valmiki gives elaborate descriptions about how the animals were crying, and in some places you describe that the stones also melted with sorrow, right? It is a very sorrowful thing that is going on in this section when Sitaji is being taken about. Now, who will tell Bhagavan about her distress? See, everybody saw what was happening. There would have been so many animals around, but no one did anything except Gidharaja Suni Aratabani, the king of vultures, heard her distressed words. He heard what she was saying. And Raghukula Tilaka Nari Pahichani, and he recognized that she was the wife of Bhagavan Sri Rama. They had met when they reached Panchavati, and at that time, Jatayuji, I don't know if some of you remember, Jatayuji had promised to take care of and protect Sitaji. And he was going to fulfill his promise now. Nobody else had the courage to stand up and fight a Rakshasa. But Jatayuji stood up, and now he was going to help to protect Sitaji. Adhama nisachara leen he jai, Jimmy Malecha basak kapila gai. He saw that a low, vile Rakshasa was taking her away, like a butcher comes and is taking away a kapila cow, like a certain type of cow. A cow is meant to be worshipped, not butchered, right? So it's like a butcher is coming to take the cow. That kind of intensity of emotion was there in his he's expressing that emotion he's seeing. Site putri karasi jani trasa. My dear daughter Sita, don't have any fear. He doesn't speak to Ravana first. First thing he does is he addresses Sitaji. So Sitaji knows, okay, he's on my side. Don't have any fear, my dear Sita, my daughter Sita. Because he was friends with Dashraji and Dashraji's daughter-in-law Sitaji, right? So, my dear daughter Sita, don't have any fear. Kari hau jatu dhana karanasa. I am going to destroy this Rakshasa. Now, at this point, he doesn't know which Rakshasa it is. He just knows it is a Rakshasa. Dhava, krodhavanta khaga kaise. How did this khaga, this bird, run? This angry bird, how he ran? Chutahi, oh no, Chutahi pabi parabata kahu jaise. Like a, um, like a thunderbolt that is just being flung against a mountain. With that kind of force and intensity, he went and chased now against Ravana. Re re dushta thara kinha hoi. He says, Tharha, sorry, this is Tharha. No wonder I was finding hard to chant. Re re dushta tharha kina hoi. Oh, you wicked person, why don't you stop? You stop right there, right? Uh, Nirbhaya chalesi, na janehi mohi. You're fearlessly going away. You don't know who I am or what? Meaning, while I am here, nobody can dare try to take Sitaji away. Jatayuji is saying to him, right? You cannot get away without fighting me first. Avata deki krutanta samana. Now Ravana saw him coming. And what he saw when Jatayuji was approaching Ravana, he felt like his death was approaching. He felt like Yamaraj was coming to him. Jatayuji was coming with such force. Huh? You just imagine. um, uh, a little tiny bird starts to fly in our face, and I mean, you've seen people freak out when forget a bird, a little moth or something starts to fly in your face, and you freak out, right? Or a little what is it called, dragonfly, and all of that. Ah, here, a huge, powerful vulture is coming straight for Ravana, fearlessly, right? Pity. Then um, Piridasa Kandara Kara Anumana. So now this 10-headed Ravana turned around to try to recognize who is this person who is daring to come and fight with me. Right? Ki Menak ki Khagapati hoi. Is it Menak? You know Menak the mountain? We'll meet him again in Sundarkand. Is it Menak, the mountain? Or is it Khagapati? Meaning, is it the king of birds? Is it Garudji coming? Mama Balajana. But they know my power, so they're not going to dare come. Sahita Pati Soi. That Garuda, along with his master, meaning Bhagavan Vishnu also knows my power. So it cannot be any of them. Hmm? You know, what do you mean Vishnu also knows his power? You know, there's Ravana has a boon, right? That he cannot be destroyed by anybody except man and Vanara. So when Bhagavan Vishnu himself came to fight with Ravana, he was unsuccessful. He had to, as a Devata, he was unsuccessful because that was Ravana's boon. So he's saying very proudly, well, Lord Vishnu knows my power. He's not going to come and try and do this. Right? The arrogance with which he thinks also comes out in these lines. Jana Jaratha Jatayu Eha. Then he realized, oh, this is just old Jatayu. Mama Karatirata Charihi Deha. Oh, he has come to give up his life at my hands, which are a tirat. He's describing his hands, where Jatayuji is going to die, as a tirat. Right? See you get a glimpse into Ravana's ego. How he calls death at his hands a tirat. Tirat is when you die at some auspicious place and like that, he's saying, yeah, let him come. He's going to die at the tirat of my hands. Hare Bhagavan. Sunata Gidha Krodha Turadhava. Now hearing this, Gidharaj, now this vulture, this Jatayuji, with anger ran towards Ravana. And Kahas sunu Ravana mora sikhava. He said, listen, Ravana, first to my advice. See, before he fights Ravana, first he said, I'm going to come and fight you. How dare you take Sita? Then he realized who it was. It was Ravana. And he realized his power is unmatched with Ravana. So he knows he's going to be defeated. I mean, you have to know who you're facing, right? He knows he's going to be defeated. But he also knows that there is something he can still do. So the first thing he tries to do is dissuade Ravana from taking Sitaji. So he says, listen to my advice. Taji Janikihi Kusala Griha Jahu. You give up Janki. You give up Sitaji. Leave her. And happily go to your house. You leave her here and you go back. Don't worry. I won't tell anybody like that. Just leave her, forget this whole thing and just go. Nahita asa hoihi bahu bahu. Otherwise, even though you have multiple hands, Rama Rosha Pavaka Ati Ghora. Bhagavan's anger is like a fierce fire. Hoihi Sakala Salabha Kula Tora. And because of that, your whole family will be destroyed in that fire of his anger like moths. If you take Sita, your whole family is going to burn in Bhagavan Sri Rama's anger. Don't mess with him. This is the second time Ravana is getting advice about Sita ji and about leaving her and about returning her to Bhagavan Ram. Marich had given advice, and now she hasn't even reached Lanka, and he's already gotten advice 2 times to stop doing this thing, right? But Ravana has 10 heads, 20 ears, but he just doesn't listen, right? So, Uttarunadeta, Dasanana Jodha, this warrior Ravana, he did not give any answer. He did not respond. Because Ravana has this attitude, what? He wants to be my guru? He'll say that to Hanumanji very soon, right? This monkey is my guru or what? Right? Means no one should dare teach me anything or advise me on anything. How dare they? They don't even deserve a response. You know? So now if niceness doesn't work and advice doesn't work, well then fighting has to happen, isn't it? So Tabahi Gidha Dhava Kari Krodha. Then now this Jatayuji ran towards Ravana. He knows he cannot be defeated by Ravana. But it is also his way of trying to stall Ravana with the hopes that Bhagavan Rama will come back. Maybe that is one of the things that he is doing. Okay. Then, Dhari Kacha Birata Kinha Mahi Gira. He held his hair. Who held whose hair? Jatayuji held Ravana's hair and made him chariotless. He removed him from his chariot. You see Jatayuji's power, huh? He rendered him chariotless in one instant. And then, Sita hi rakhi gidha puni phira. He kept Sitaji safely on the side because who knows what happened to the chariot. And he came back now to fight with Ravana. Ko chanha mari bidari si dehi. He, with his beak, he hit Ravana and he tore his skin. He started to tear his skin, right? Danda eka bhai murucha tehi. And Ravana became unconscious for half an hour because of what Jatayuji had done to him. With so much intensity, he fought with Ravana. Then Taba Sakrodha Nisicharak Kisiana. Then now, with anger, Ravana gained his consciousness. Karhisi Parama Karala Kripana. And he threw his most terrible sword at Jatayuji. He flung his most terrible, fierce sword at Jatayuji. Now you might be thinking, wait. Hello. 2 questions. One, how is it that Jatayuji is so powerful against Ravana for these few minutes? It is because when someone is on the side of Dharma, they get an unimaginable power. And when someone is on the side of Adharma, they lose an unimaginable power. So here you have someone fighting for Dharma and someone standing on the side of Adharma, one getting stronger and the other getting weaker. And like that, the two of them come face to face. The other thing is, how is it that Jatayuji had knocked Ravana out for half an hour, but he did not take Sitaji and leave? Well, he had his chance, right? You all please think about it. I'm not going to tell you today. Think about it a little bit and see what answers you all come up with. There are a few things we can surmise, but finally the answer will be we don't know, but we can make what is the surmission? No, that sounds wrong. We can surmise. We can propose things, right? So give it some thought and see what comes to mind. Okay. Then Katesi pankha parakhaga dharani. Now he cut off the wings of this bird, of this Jatayuji. And of course, a bird's only support in the air is his wings. So Jatayuji fell to the ground. Sumiri Rama kari adabhuta karani. But how he fell? He fell remembering Bhagavan Rama. You know, when you're in pain, it is not an easy thing to remember Bhagavan. because you remember your pain. But he did exactly what Bhagavad Gita tells us to do. At the time of death, you're supposed to remember Bhagavan. He remembered Bhagavan Ram as he was falling. And having done this most wondrous, unbelievable, remarkable feat. Hmm? Now, Sitahi jana chadhai bahori, chala utaila trasana thori. Now, quickly he put Sitaji back in the chariot and he went in a hurry. And his fear was not a little. Tulsidasji said he didn't have a little fear. Because, see, we're very afraid when we do wrong things. He just started, and now a vulture of all things came and tried to stop him and has delayed him. So already the distance of Bhagavan Ram is reducing. He could be here any moment. So imagine the amount of fear that is there in Ravana's heart. We know this fear. We know this fear very well. When you are a little child and you tell a lie and your parent realizes you have lied and they're the strict parent, oh God, you don't even want to know how you feel. You imagine that times like a billion. That is probably what Ravana is feeling. Because he's taking the mother of the universe after being told, don't do it, right? So now, karati bilapa jati nabhasita vyadha bibasa janumrigi sabhita. Now Sitaji was lamenting profusely. She was crying as Ravana was taking her in space. Means in the air. They would have flown, right? And it was like a scared deer under the clutches of a hunter. Now, if an elephant or a lion is caught, someone might go and release it. But if a deer is caught, who goes to release the deer? Right? She is totally helpless in the hands of this hunter. Giri para baithe kapinha nihari. Now she saw on a mountain some monkeys sitting. And Kari Hari Nama Deenha Pata Dari. And taking the name of Hari, saying Bhagavan's name, she dropped a cloth, like her dupatta or some kind of cloth she dropped. In other Ramayans, it's described that she had put her jewelry in the cloth and tied it and dropped it. Here she just dropped her cloth. So you don't know if it had jewelry in or it was just the cloth. But she saw some monkeys and she dropped it. एहि विधि सीतहि सो लय गयो बन अशोक महराखत भयो. Like this, in this way, Ravana took Sitaji and went and kept her in the Ashoka Vatika. See how quickly he went from taking her and he reached the Vatika? Means that is how much urgency Ravana would have left with because, oh my God, I need to get her there. Oh my God, I need to get her there. Like that, you know? So, Ravana takes her and gets her to Lanka. Now, you see this line, the monkeys on the mountain. That sounds like a little random fact that Tulsidasji just stuck in there. If you don't know the story, it looks like it's some random little why is he talking about monkeys on a mountain? But because you know the story, you know that that is Sugriva and Hanumanji, and they're going to tell Bhagavan Ram that they saw Ravana taking Sitaji, all of that. It should give you an indication of how not one single word in Tulsidasji's composition is superfluous, is for no reason, right? It sounds like it's a pointless little detail, but there's nothing pointless about any little detail that Tulsidasji gives in his Ramayana, right? So don't overlook anything when you're studying Ramayana. Every single line counts. Now, he went and kept her in the forest. Why? Hari para kala bahubidhi. This wretch, this Kala, this Ravana, tried every way to win Sita over. But Hari para, he was defeated. Bhaya arupriti dekhai. He tried showing her love. He tried using fear, meaning he would have given her proposals like, be my queen, and you'll be the head of Mandodari also, and all kinds of things he would have said to Sitaji. But she flatly refused. She flatly refused. And so I guess when he failed in trying to get her to be his queen or whatever, Taba Asoka Padapatara Rakhisi Jatana Karai. Then he kept her at the foot of a tree, of an Ashoka tree, strongly protected. It is said only Rakshasis were allowed over there. No Rakshasas were allowed in that Ashoka Vatika where Sitaji was kept. And actually, there's no reason, we have no reason to know why he chose an Ashoka Vatika. Why Ashok Vatika? Nobody knows. It's one of those things that Shastras haven't told why. So he kept her now in this Ashoka Vatika. Then, Jehi Bidhi Kapata Kuranga Sanga Thai Chale Sri Rama Soch Habi Sita Rakhi Ura Ratati Rahati Harinam. Now, in which way Bhagavan Sri Rama ran behind the golden deer, that image Sitaji kept in her heart. And what did she do? She kept repeating the name of Hari. She kept repeating the name of Bhagavan Ram. Now see, right now he's going to switch back and go to Bhagavan Sri Ram. But let's think about Sitaji for a moment. Sitaji made a mistake. Actually, no. Let's correct that. She made multiple mistakes. First, she desired a golden deer. Having said, I will only ever want Rama, she now desired a golden deer. Then she thought Bhagavan Ram can actually be in danger. Then she doubted Lakshmanji and she insulted him. Then she trusted Ravana as a sannyasi first, right? She's playing the role of a seeker, us. Now see our mistakes. Number one, we desire a golden deer. Means we start by saying we're going to look for happiness inside, but then we get distracted and we look for happiness outside. We have countless golden deer on the outside telling us, hi, come, see what I have, right? The worldly fleeting happiness that the world promises is the golden deer of our life. Then mistake number two. At that time, we don't think that our spiritual pursuit can give us that joy, and we trade it for the golden deer, for the promise that the golden deer's happiness is going to bring. Then number three, our gurus, our mahatmas, they tell us, Shastra says, don't get distracted. Stay on your path. Don't lose focus, right? Don't worry. Bring the mind back if it wanders. But we don't listen. We don't follow their advice, just like she didn't listen to Lakshmana, right? This is called sadhu avagya, disrespecting a sadhu. Not following the words of a sadhu is tantamount to disrespecting them, right? Then what happens? We come under the control of Ravana. Our 10-headed indriyas of our personality carry us away. And that's it. Then we're in trouble. Then we lament and we say, oh God, why did this happen to me? Why did you do this to me, Bhagavan? But a good seeker realizes their mistake, and the solution is given here, right here also. Repeating the name of Bhagavan, i.e. doing sadhana sincerely. Any sadhana that you take up, you do sincerely and patiently. And she keeps that image of Bhagavan Ram running behind the deer, like, I know I sent you away and you listened. Now please run back to me. I'm asking you for that too, right? So however you want to imagine, that is the last vision of Bhagavan Sri Ram she had, and she held on to that, right? Please run back to me. And Bhagavan Sri Ram actually really runs back, but to the ashram, right? So now let us see. He sees Lakshmana coming, and you can imagine what he feels when he sees Lakshmana. Let us chant. This is after number 29. रघुपति अनुजहि आवत देखि बाहेज चिंता कीनी विशेषी जनक सुता परिहरिहु अकेली आयहु तात बचन मम पेली निशिचर निकर फिरहि बन माहि मम मन सीता आश्रम नाही गहि पद कमल अनुज कर जोरी कहे नाथ कछु मोहि न खोरी अनुज समेत गए प्रभु तहवा गोदावरी तट आश्रम जहवा आश्रम देखी जानकी लीना भये विकल जस प्राकृत दीना हा गुण खानी जानकी सीता रूप शील व्रत नेम पुनीता लक्ष्मण समुझाए बहुभांति पूछत चले लता तरुपाति हे खग मृग हे मधुकर श्रेणी तुम्ह देखी सीता मृग नैनी खंजन सुख कपोट मृग मीना मधुपन कर कोकिला प्रवीणा कुंद कली दारिम दामिनी कमल सरद ससि अभिमानी वरुण पास मनोज धनु हमसा गज के हरि निज सुनत प्रशंसा श्रीफल कनक कदली हरा हरा शाही नेकुन शंख सकुच मन माही सुनु जानकी तोहि बिनु आजु हरषे सकल पाई जनु राजु किमि सही जात अनख तोहि पाही प्रिया बेगी प्रगटसी कसनाही एहि विधि खोजत बिलपत स्वामी मनहु महा बिरही अति कामी पूरन काम राम सुख राशि मनुज चरित कर अज अविनाशी आगे परागीधपति देखा सुमिरत राम चरण जिन्ह रेखा कर सरोज सिर पर सेउ कृपा सिंधु रघुबीर निरखि राम छवि धाम मुख विगत भई सब पीर सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Actually, you're all lucky that I can only sing one tune. Because if you sing this tune in like in another, if you sing this section in a different tune, you cannot sing it without crying. The emotion that is there in it is so intense, right? Let us see. We all know Bhagavan Ram felt sad when Sita ji wasn't there, but see the actual emotions that he goes through. Raghupati Anujahi Avata Dekhi. Bhagavan Sri Ram saw his younger brother coming. Bahija Chinta Keen hi Biseshi. Outwardly, he expressed great worry. See, Tulsidasji is not going to let us forget that he is Ishvara who is doing Manuja Leela. He's doing a drama. He's acting out human beings Leela, right? Meaning, don't forget that he is Bhagavan. Bahija, externally, he's showing this worry. Now, he has great worry. From a husband's point of view, he left his wife in the care of Lakshmanji, and Lakshmanji is here. Well, what he feared is exactly what happened. Janaka Sutta Pariharihu Akeli. You left Janaka Sutta. Sita ji's name is Janaka Sutta. But see, Tulsidashi chooses the name Janaka Sutta. Janaka Sutta means daughter of Janaka. Right? Means she's somebody else's daughter that was given in my trust. Like that is the sentiment that is coming when he uses this name. Actually, this name comes over and over again in this little section. Like he gave her to me in my trust, and now what have I gone and done? Like that. But he still called him Ayahu Tata Bachana Mama Peli. But he still calls him Tata. Oh, my dear, you left her and you didn't follow my words and you came? You didn't follow my instructions? Like that he speaks. Nisichara Nikara Pirahi Banamahi. There are so many Rakshasas roaming around in this forest. Mama Mana Sita Ashramanahi. My heart is telling me that Sitaji is not in the ashram. He has a bad premonition that Sitaji is not there. Gahi Pada Kamala Anuja Kara Jori. Now Lakshmanji fell at his lotus feet with his hands together. And he said, Kahihu Nata Kachu Mohina Khori. He said, Oh Lord, it was not my fault. See, you would just imagine how Lakshmanji would have been feeling. He lives his whole life for Bhagavan Sri Ram. Here, Bhagavan Sri Ram asked him to do one thing, right? Now, whose fault is it that he came here? The way Sitaji spoke, he had no choice but to come. But he didn't explicitly blame Sitaji. He didn't say, Do you know what your wife said to me? Hello. He didn't do that, right? He didn't jump to blame her, but all he said is, It was not my fault. And actually, it was out of his control. Very clearly, it is presented there, it's out of his control. In other places, Bhagavan Sri Ram actually says to him, You shouldn't have left her even then. But here, the story ends right there. Anuja sameta gaye prabhu tahava godavari tata ashrama jahava. Now, along with Lakshmanji, Bhagavan Sri Ram went to the ashram that was on the banks of the Godavari river. Ashrama dekhi, he saw the ashram, Janaki hina, without Janaki. Sitaji was not there. This is like one of the saddest lines in Ramayana. Bhay bikala jasa prakrita dina. And he became distressed, like disoriented, like an ordinary, helpless person. You know, this line is just like it hits the heart if you really hear what it is saying. Ha Gunakhani Janaki Sita. Oh, Sita, oh Janaki, storehouse of virtues. Rupa Sila Brata Nema Punita, who is pure in character, in her devotion, her Pati Vrata, her character, her form, everything about her was so pure and so chaste. The very embodiment of beauty, like that. Lachimana samujhaye bahubhati. Like Bhagavan Sri Ram had become so miserable. Lakshmanji tried to console him in so many ways. But Poochhata chale lata tarupati. But now Bhagavan Sri Rama started to go and walk around the forest and ask the vines and the trees and the leaves. Now he started to look for Sitaji. Hey Khaga Mriga, hey Madhukara Srini, oh birds, oh deer, oh all you bees, string of bees, Tumhate ki Sita Mriga Naini. Have you seen my fawn-eyed, my Sita whose eyes are like a deer? Have you seen my Sita? Like that he's going and he's asking in the forest to the birds and the plants and the trees and have you seen my Sita? Do you know where my Sita is? Like this. Now he lists a whole set of animals and elements of nature, and then he tells something about all of them. Let's see all of them, and then I'll tell you what it says, right? Kanjana Sukha Kapota Mriga Meena, the king of birds, the parrot, the pigeon, the deer, the fish, Madhupa Nikara, all plenty bees, Kokila Prabina, the kokila, the clever cuckoo bird, Kunda Kali Darima Damini, Kamala Sarada Sasi Ahi Bhamini. There's a kind of bird called a kunda bird, then pomegranate seeds, then lightning, a lotus, an autumn moon, a gliding snake. Bhagavan, what all kind of things are you saying? Right? You just keep going and see what he's leading up to something. Varuna Pasa Manoja Danu Hamsa, the noose of Varuna, the bow of Kamadev, the swan, the Hamsa bird, Gaja Ke Hari Nija Sunata Prasamsa, the elephant and the lion, all these things and these people and these animals I've just listed, they're listening to their praise. What praise? What is he talking about? Huh? Shri Phala Kanaka Kadali Harashahi Nekuna Sanka Sakucha Mana Mahi. The bilva fruit, gold, bananas, they're all rejoicing. They feel no shame, no embarrassment in their mind. Sunu Janaki, Tohi Binu Aju, Harashe Sakala Pai Janu Raju. All of these things and people and beings that I mentioned, without you, they're happy. It's as though they have regained their kingdom. So they're very happy. Right? They're rejoicing in their kingdom. Now, you read this and you're like, but what exactly is Tulsidasji trying to say? What is Bhagavan Ram saying? You know, when poets describe the beauty of a woman, the physical beauty of a woman, they do it in different ways. One of the ways was to describe her beauty using examples of different animals and elements of nature. And so, this list that Bhagavan Sri Rama has given is actually a description of all the different parts of Sitaji. Hmm? Like a different part of her beauty. Like the snake is like her braid, and the bow of Kamadev is like her eyebrows. Like each one is meant to describe a certain part, right? We don't need to go and know all of that, right? I mean, it's just the way she's being described. But the point is, in the presence of Sitaji, they were like nothing. Like her beauty was so much that they paled into insignificance in her presence because of how beautiful she was. Now that she's gone, they can shine in their own kingdom again. Right now, their beauty can shine forth again, and now they feel like they're something. You know that saying. You know what came to my mind in this section? That person who prays to Bhagavan, if you can't make me thin, make my friends fat. Means let those around me be like me. So these people are happy Sitaji is gone now, so they can shine again like that because they don't compare in beauty to her. You know, so they're happy because they regained their beauty. Like that. That is the sentiment, right? Now, he says, Kimi sahi jata anakha tohi pahi. How can you bear this rivalry, O Sita? Priya begi pragatasi kasanahi. Why, O my beloved, don't you quickly just reveal yourself? Means stop watching them being praised and come back. Bhagavan Sri Ram is speaking to Sita ji helplessly. You know, the only time the beauty of Sitaji is described, you will notice if you are following, is if Bhagavan Sri Rama himself is the one who is describing it. Tulsidasji never describes the beauty of Sitaji because he sees her as mother. So it's not his place to talk about her beauty. Hmm? And even when Bhagavan Sri Ram is talking about it, it's like in code. You don't know what he is saying unless you go and you study that section. It's described in the book and all of that, right? But he's describing the mother of the universe. How he describes her, it's up to him, you know? एहि विधि खोजत बिलपत swami manahu maha birahi ati kami. In this way, the Lord was lamenting and looking and searching for her. How? As though manahu maha birahi ati kami, as though he was an extremely passionate, lusty person going through pangs of separation. That kind of description is given. Going through pangs of separation, an extremely passionate person, how he feels. Now see Tulsidasji's comment. Puranakama, Rama Sukharasi. That Rama who is Puranakam, who is desireless. All his desires have been fulfilled. There's no desire he has. And Sukharasi, the treasure trove of happiness. Manuja Charita Kara Aja Abhinasi. Aja, he's unborn. Abhinasi, he's Avinashi, he's immortal, eternal. He's doing Manuja Charita. He's going through the drama of a human being. And humans are very dramatic, so he has to be dramatic also. So he's going through the drama of a human being, right? This is what we look like, by the way. He put Sitaji in the fire, and Maya Sita is missing. And he is the one who set up the whole thing. And he is the one now who's crying and looking for her. My nature is happiness. I have forgotten, and now I'm roaming around the whole world crying and looking for that happiness. Same thing going on with us. Anyways, he's doing human lila. Tulsidasji is reminding us over and over and over again that, like an ordinary person, he is playing a role. Don't get deluded. The Aranya Kanda started with a warning that it is very easy to get deluded in this forest of samsara, in this Aranya Kanda. It's very easy to get deluded. In fact, Satiji, who was Parvatiji's previous incarnation, she saw this Bhagavan Ram running around the forest in this exact state, and she became deluded. This is the exact moment she became deluded, when Bhagavan Sri Ram was running around the forest asking the trees and the birds, "Where's my Sita? Have you seen my Sita?" So again and again, Tulsidasji is reminding us, don't forget he's playing a role. Don't forget he's Bhagavan. Now, I heard Guruji tell something very interesting. He said that when Bhagavan Sri Ram was in the forest, he would make malas and ornaments and all from flowers, and he would decorate Sitaji. They would spend time together like that, and he was a good husband. So he would decorate Sitaji, he would spend time with her and all. And the sannyasis, tapasvis, yogis that were in the forest, they were thinking, oh, look how nice Grihastha ashram is. Because now they saw Bhagavan Sri Rama in that role, they started to glorify it and they started to wonder how nice it would be to get married. Right? But that's not what they're there for. Right? So now Bhagavan Sri Rama shows the other side of it. And they get a reality check that no, it's not just all roses. Everything comes with both sides. So now they get a little reality check. Look how much sorrow is there. Okay, this is not what we want. Like that. So if you have taken to sannyasi life, then you shouldn't envy grihastha life, right? But now if you're married, you have to see the other side. You have to see how Bhagavan Sri Rama cared for his wife, right? We're supposed to learn to love our spouse the way Bhagavan Sri Rama loves Sitaji. Huh? You see how much his love comes across over here. The husband marries the wife. At the time of marriage, he vows to protect her. The pati is one who protects, right? And the sentiment is she's so precious that she needs to be protected properly at all times. So he's thinking about, he's showing also what it looks like to be a good husband. Now, aage para. Now they went ahead. Gidhapati dekha. And they saw the king of vultures. Sumirata Rama. He was remembering Bhagavan Rama. Oh, sorry, Ramacharana. He was remembering the feet of Bhagavan Sri Rama. Jinhareka, those feet that have special marks. Maybe, vultures have like far vision. Maybe where he was on the ground, his far vision, all he could see was Bhagavan Sri Rama's footsteps in the forest, maybe. Right? So he fell when Ravana cut off his wings, and he didn't stop remembering Rama. From the time he fell till now, what we saw, he remembered Rama and he's remembering Rama. That constant remembrance of Rama comes across. In the Doha, Tulsidasji says, Kara saroja sira paraseyu kripa sindhu raghubira. Now Bhagavan Sri Ram took his lotus hand and stroked the head of Jatayu. And the description of Bhagavan Sri Ram given is ocean of compassion, this hero among Raghus. See how he forgot his own sorrow and now he starts to empathize with the pain and suffering of Jatayuji. This is Karunanidhan. He doesn't know Jatayu has anything to do with Sitaji, but he sees a vulture in pain and he forgets his own suffering instantly. Nirakhi Rama Chhabi Dhama Mukha Begata Bhai Sabapira. Now, seeing Bhagavan Ram's face, that Rama who is the abode of wonderfulness, all of his pain went away. You just imagine how much pain he would have been in. His wings cut off, holding his breath because Sitaji was saying, who is going to tell Sri Ram what happened to me? To keep your life when your life is not supposed to be kept, it's not I can imagine it's not an easy thing, right? But this is how Jatayuji held it and what he got as a result of that. Even Dashraji didn't get. The result that Jatayuji is going to get is something that nobody in this Ramayana gets. He has a really, really special place in this Ramayana. He's become immortal, this Jatayuji. So now there's a few questions on Jatayuji. That first question I had asked, how come he didn't flee with Sitaji? How come he didn't take Sitaji and go? And then another question comes about the concept of success versus failure. You know, was Jatayuji successful or did he fail? And was Ravana successful or did he fail? So that's something to think about. That we'll address next week when we see the whole Jatayu section, Bhagavan Rama's conversation with him, and then that when that whole section is done, we'll analyze that. But now what we'll do is we will do closing prayer, and then we'll stop the live stream and all of that, and then we'll have a discussion on why Jatayuji may not have left when he had a chance. Okay, and then obviously if anyone wants to share any thoughts or reflections, we have time for that as well. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.